And tonight on Connecticut's news station, a weather watch alert. Flooding is still a major concern in some parts of the state. We'll take you to the washed out roads.
The man accused of stabbing another man to death over the weekend appeared in court. What we're learning tonight.
Lowell Weicker was never afraid to make hard choices and to fight for what he believed in.
And remembering Lowell Weicker, friends and family lay the former governor to rest today.
Fox 61, Connecticut's news station, begins with a weather watch alert.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here in the news at 6. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Sarah Sanchez. Well, many people in the Northeast, including right here in Connecticut, are picking up the pieces after weekend flooding. This is the scene in Norfolk after storms rolled through yesterday afternoon. Many spots along Route 272 were washed out, and some parts of the road even crumbled down, leaving behind massive holes.
And in neighboring New York, deadly flooding there as well. One person drowning as she tried to escape the rising water. This here is video of flooding in Stony Brook, New York. Orange County in a state of emergency in response to those conditions.
Yeah, we have our team of meteorologists on standby for the chance of potentially more flooding in the state. Will we even see more rain tonight? Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us now. Rachel.
The good news is the rain is moving out. There are still a few leftover showers here in far eastern Connecticut, right along the 395 corridor. So Thompson is still getting rained on very heavily right now. And we're seeing the same here in the southeastern corner of the state through North Stonington. But we continue to see river flood warnings posted after getting a deluge last night into parts of the state this morning. The Housatonic River is flooding in various locations. The good news is the water has crested, though, and is starting to come down. The same is true for the Farmington River at Unionville and Simsbury. But even long after the rain ends, the water levels will actually come up. So moving in the opposite direction for the Connecticut River at Middle Haddam, where moderate flooding is forecast, and it might not get to moderate levels until around this time tomorrow. We're also watching the potential for moderate river flood levels for Thompsonville, too. Check out some of these rainfall totals. It's hard to wrap your mind around this within just 24 hours, and it'll make sense as to why Litchfield County is seeing such bad flooding. 6.89 inches of rain just over the course in some areas for 6 hours or so. So this is 1 to 2 months worth of rain in a relatively short period of time. It'll be hot but dry the next couple of days. Your full forecast coming up.
Thank you, Rachel. Western Connecticut has been hardest hit by these storms. Roads are still closed in some places, and in others, the cleanup is just beginning. Meteorologist Ryan Breton joins us live from Kent, where nearly 6 inches of rain fell overnight. Hi, Ryan.
Sarah, good afternoon. The rain began Sunday afternoon in downpours, but then it picked up when another surge came in during the middle of the night last night into the wee hours of this morning, and that's when this situation became very serious here.
This isn't a category of all by itself.
It was a very early wake up for Larry Williams when his backyard on Preston Mountain turned into a raging river.
20 minutes, the water was about a foot below it. 20 minutes later, it was over the bridge, and I told my wife, grab the cats, we got to get out of here, and we barely got out.
Evacuating the mountain in the dark, walking downhill, away from the water rushing into their home.
Had we waited, we would have never been able to get out.
Jeff Wayne was ready for the rain.
I thought I was being smart by putting my sandbags down last night, as opposed to doing it when it's too late.
But the downpour, so hard and so fast, rushing down the mountain, overwhelming what's usually a steady stream.
5 o'clock this morning, we got a phone call from our friends upstream. I looked out the window and I said, I need more sandbags.
Now, the work is just beginning.
Right now, it's a matter of cleanup, assessing the damage.
Even though the water is still flowing and more storms could be on the way later this week. And back live now, several rivers across the state are under flood warnings. This is the Housatonic here in Kent, which has already crested and is now starting to slowly subside a bit. Earlier today, Route 7 south of town was closed. That has since reopened, but with more rain possibly on the way, we'll be keeping a close eye on all of these rivers going forward. For now, we're live in Kent. I'm meteorologist Ryan Breton, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
ASEA lawmakers fill St. Barnabas Church in Greenwich this morning to say their goodbyes and lay former Governor Lowell Weicker to rest.
Fox 61's political reporter Emma Wolfforth joining us in studio now with how family and colleagues are remembering Weicker. Emma.
Yeah, Ben, Sarah, it was a somber day for state leaders, family, and friends of Lowell Weicker. Current Governor Ned Lamont giving a eulogy at today's service, saying he's lost a mentor, remembering Weicker as not just an accomplished lawmaker and governor, but as a friend. Monday's service filled with laughter, tears, and thanks for former Governor Lowell Weicker.
I never thought we would be doing this. It just seemed like he was going to live forever.
Friends and family gathered with state leaders and lawmakers to honor Weicker's legacy.
He was at his absolute best when someone needed help. He was a man who would go to any lengths to help those in need, be it his son, a family member, or someone he had never met before.
Weicker began his political career in the Connecticut General Assembly in 1963, later holding seats as Greenwich 1st Selectman and in the U.S. House of Representatives, and he went on to become a U.S. Senator.
In the face of emerging facts, Lowell Weicker made sure a lantern was held up to the darkness.
He loved the back and forth and give and take of politics, no question about it. Like them all, he loved to win, but unlike most politicians, he wasn't afraid to lose.
After losing Senate re-election in 1988, Weicker ran a successful independent campaign for governor, taking office during a worsening financial crisis for the state.
He was the right man at the right time to take on a state that was in a world of hurt. The House was on fire, the Connecticut House, and he was a first responder.
Lamont acknowledged many may think of Weicker as the income tax governor, but says he fought for so much more. He championed fights for the environment, people with disabilities, HIV and AIDS research, and was pro-choice.
He was an advocate for those who did not have a voice and for those who were marginalized.
Look out, heaven, here he comes.
Weicker is survived by his wife, 5 sons and 2 stepsons, 12 grandchildren, and 4 great-grandchildren. Governor Lamont is directing flags to return to full staff at sunset tonight. Sarah, Ben.
Emma, thank you. State leaders say that Weicker is leaving behind a legacy that teaches kids one person can definitely make a difference. Fox 61's Lindsay Kane continues our team coverage in Greenwich.
Democrats and Republicans from across the state coming together to say their final goodbyes to former Governor Lowell Weicker, a man who many lawmakers say was influential for Connecticut. A solemn goodbye to former Governor Lowell Weicker.
He was fearless. He was fearless. He just stood up. Dan the torpedoes, full speed ahead.
Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle filling up St. Barnabas Church in Greenwich, the same church Weicker married his wife of 38 years, Claudia.
This is his day. It was wonderful to see the number of people, the stories, the reminiscences, the family.
Weicker leaves behind a large family. He died on June 28th after a short illness at 92 years old. He helped pass legislation to protect people with disabilities. He was instrumental in the Watergate hearings and began the cause to protect the world's oceans. Throughout all the pivotal bills that were passed during his time in office, state leaders say he was always focused on the people of Connecticut.
I think people admire that in leadership, and it's why he'll be extraordinarily missed.
Admired by many and will be remembered as someone who believed in a better future.
He led with courage and conviction and great compassion. He led our state at a time when our state needed a courageous leader.
Governor Ned Lamont says former Governor Weicker was a role model and will continue to inspire children for generations to come.
A person can make a difference. I hope that's part of his legacy.
In Greenwich, Lindsay Kane, Fox 61, Connecticut's news station.
Several people are recovering tonight after being rescued from an apartment fire in Middletown. Crews responded to the apartment building on Russet Lane just before midnight. 3 people had to be rescued from the 3rd floor and taken to the hospital. Many families are now displaced. It's unclear what caused that fire. And 2 people are in critical condition tonight after a 3-car crash in New Haven. This happened on Fox and Boulevard yesterday. Police say a car driving east veered into the opposite lane, colliding with 2 cars that were traveling west. 2 of the drivers had to be taken to the hospital, and they're listed in critical condition. The driver and passenger of the third car had only minor injuries.
Well, new tonight, state police are investigating after a body was pulled from the Connecticut River. The body was found Saturday night around 8:30 near the Glastonbury Yacht Club in Portland. Life-saving measures were attempted until EMTs arrived on scene. The man, identified as Johnny Herrera, was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. The investigation's ongoing. A man from Farmington died at a Rhode Island beach. 74-year-old Frank Seville was pulled from the ocean at Misquamicut State Beach on Friday. Lifeguards say that he was unresponsive, was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. It's still unclear if he drowned or suffered a medical issue. Officials are still investigating the cause of death.
In Harwinton, police are searching for the person responsible for vandalizing 30 street signs. The signs are all in the area of Locust and Laurel Road near Route 72. Some of the signs have been completely spray painted, making them impossible to read. Police say almost all the signs have the initials LP, and the vandalism is believed to have happened overnight. Anyone with any information should contact state police.
Still more